Welcome to Comics on a Pyre, a channel to have a meaningful conversation over movies, life, books, and shows, and maybe just a spot to spend time BSing over comics. If you like your entertainment with a bit of substance, then you, my vagabond friend, have come to the right tavern. Tether your horse by the post and come right on in and warm yourself by the fire. Tap that subscribe button, and for the next few minutes, my fellow George Carlin reprobate, lend me your ear. Joker, Killer Smile, Book 1, is an interesting installment, especially due to the Harleen series that runs simultaneously along with this series' release. They are quite similar, in fact. Both involve the Joker, the clown prince of crime, both take place in Arkham on either side of a bulletproof glass panel, and both center around an interview with Batman's arch nemesis. The main difference between the two series is the series' protagonist. Even though both are psychiatrists, only one of them is Harley Quinzel, aka Harley Quinn. And this is where the Joker to Killer Smile diverges. Dr. Ben Arnell seems like a truly altruistic psychiatrist. He interviews Joker with the sincere interest of curing the homicidal psychotic inmate. And if he does so, Dr. Arnell thinks that we will have the blueprint to cure future psychopaths. The problem is the Joker, by definition of a psychopath, is an unreliable subject, always telling half-truths and leading highly educated academics down a dark path of his choosing. Hell, in the first issue, there is even a cautionary warning given to Dr. Arnell by Dr. Hutchins, the chief doctor in charge of the Joker's psychoanalytical interviews. She warns Ben about the pitfalls that awaited the last head shrink that tried to psychoanalyze the madman, and it didn't end well for her. The problem is, and what Dr. Arnell will find out, is that when dancing with the devil doesn't change, you do. And so the Joker begins manipulating Ben's thoughts, entering his dreams on a subconscious level. The only problem is, and I don't think this will end well for his family, Ben begins to have problems distinguishing fantasy from reality, which leads me to suspect that the good doctor may have some suppressed homicidal tendencies that may come to the surface once he interacts with the Joker more. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. The most interesting piece of this issue, though, is what seems like a children's book, Mr. Smiles and the Happy Village. Ben is seen reading it to his child at bedtime. At first, it reads like a children's bedtime story, but judging by the pictures on the last pages, it's clearly not. When Ben asks his son about the book, he replies, "You gave it to me, Dad. Remember?" Geez, I don't like where this story is heading. Sounds like something from Stephen King's The Shining. What is even more disturbing is that the very next day, while Dr. Arnell is interviewing the Joker, he mentions the name Mr. Smiles and Happyville, both names from the title of the children's book, which make Ben go running out of the interview and into the facility's bathroom, where the doctor imagines seeing a bloody stall with a dead body in it, only to realize seconds later that the whole scene was just a figment of his imagination. The last thing of note is the story Joker tells on the last few pages of this issue, about a murdered victim in Happyville. He tells of the victim's willingness to freely enter a murderer's house, even though he knew it meant his death. When he is left there dying, the victim states that the reason why he entered the house, even though he knew that he was going to get killed, was because he needed to know how it feels. This reminded me of the Fight Club statement, "Marla, the scratch on the roof of my mouth that will heal if I just could stop tonguing it, but I can't," which verbalizes man's willingness to act against his better nature, even though it means his death. In fact, he is compelled to do so, kind of like smoking a cigarette, even though we know it's killing us with each breath that we take, or like the reason why climbers hike Mount Everest or bungee jump. It is only when we court death when we feel truly alive. Well, that's enough macabre thoughts for today. In the meanwhile, Visit my YouTube channel, Comics on the Pyre, for other videos like this one. Tap on that bell icon before you go. And oh yes, until next time, as always, keep reading, my friends.